Everyone, back again, another new day. Just a little project here I wanted to include on the 59. Replacing the rocker, not the rocker, but the kick panels on the sides just in front of the doors there. They're kind of a problem on these. They like to rust out when everything gets full of dirt and mouse nest. This is the one from the passenger side. You can see the whole bottom's rusted out. I just wanted to go over one of the problems with these things and what causes the issues. Again, it's another really bad design by GM back in 59, probably from 55. So this is the factory piece. It comes down the side. It's got 2, 4, 6 screws that hold it in, and the bottom here has a 90 broke on it with a curve on one end that goes around the A-pillar where the A-pillar meets the floor. So what happens, and I'll just show you on the driver's side here, motion sickness coming for you guys, sorry about that. So oh yeah, then I forgot the piece over here. How's that feel, eh? Time for a little gravel. Okay, so I'll just get some light on it here. So here's the opening that you're left with behind the A-pillar. That opening is there to get you access to the door hinges. So this piece goes in here, kind of a bitch to get in. I'll get it in here, just like that, and get screwed to the A-pillar and then to the front of the kick panel here. The issue is, and I'll show you here, is the floor slopes towards the hinge opening here, and with this piece of the rocker panel or kick panel screwing down flat to the floor, any water or dirt that comes off of your shoes runs straight across here and down in and fills up your hinge pocket here. And I think that's where a lot of the dirt and crap starts to come in and starts to rust out the bottom of the hinge pocket. So I'm going to show you the design change I made and why I'm doing it. So these pieces, to buy them from one of the aftermarket suppliers, I see them listed on websites anywhere from $64 to $75 a piece. That's for a little piece of this isn't even 18 gauge, I think it's probably 19 gauge steel that's got a 90 broke at the bottom with a little tweak in it and a little bit of a contour bend at the top here that's really easy to put in. I'm just going to show you my new design, what I've done to try and stop all this water from going in. I took and I broke a piece of 18 gauge, 90 degrees. Then I beat the curve in it. Just grab the light. So what I've done is I took this 90, I put the curve in the end here to follow the A-pillar right here, and then this piece I plug welded and welded at the front. I'm going to seam seal it, and then the new kick panel here, I put it through the bead roller, just put a step in it, cut it off so that it is just a little bit shy of the floor, and it screws on over top of this piece on the floor. So what that's going to do is any water that comes down is now going to either puddle here for you to wipe up, or it's going to run right out the back here instead of going down into the hinge pocket and rusting stuff out. So I'll just show you how I shape these pieces. Put the shape in at the top here. We'll make the driver's side one together. Okay, what I've got is that piece that I broke, that 18 gauge 90 clamped in the vise. And then I have a socket that's got the same radius as the A-pillar there. I've just put it onto this one side of the 90 with a pair of vice grips. And now I'm going to use it as a buck to put this curve in. Once you get that curve started, it comes out pretty rough, but it's in there. So now what I can do is I can bring the 90 back into it, just finish off this curve around the socket and around a body dolly until I get the perfect fit on that A-pillar, and then I can trim it to suit. So I'll bring you back once I get that all straightened out. Okay, so here's the piece. I got the curve all straightened out on the socket and then just on a flat piece of steel. It now sits in here, follows that curve perfectly. What I have to do at the front here is a little bit of trimming just to get this to go up the slope of the toe board there so that I can weld it on. So what I'll do is I'll just cut it in the corner here and bend this piece up until I get it to where I want it. Okay, here's the piece all done. All I did was put a little slice up the corner there. I bent this up at the same angle as the toe board, trimmed that little point off, and it now sits in here perfectly. Once it's welded in and seam sealed, there's no water can go down into that open hinge pocket there. Okay, I have the new piece here. It's all cleaned up. I got the holes drilled for plug welds, weld through primer on it. I put weld through primer on everything here. While I'm letting that dry, I came over to my steel and I cut out a blank for the replacement for the driver's side here. I left the 90 off the bottom because we're not going to need that now. And the only thing I did here was I added a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch extra length here to make up for the steel it's going to take when you put this this bend in it. And I'll just we'll take you over to the vise. I'll set you up on the tripod here and I'll show you how I'm going to put this little jog in there. I have my curved body dolly set up in the vise clamp down. So fairly simple. This just gets bent down. I just use the vise to hold it, and then I turn this flange here back to flat. And from what I can see there, close counts. It doesn't really, you don't have to be exact. A bit more. Okay, so that's the first step. Just going to flip it over, go to the other side. As you can see, it's really quite simple, and I've got probably $3 worth of steel in both sides. I've got less than 20 minutes building this side. and I was probably 45 minutes total on the passenger side, and those two pieces at 65, even say $70 a piece US, or $110 a piece Canadian by the time well, that's just part plus shipping. So once you put exchange and stuff on, so I can fine tune this now to get a nice tight fit, and I'll just get the welding done, weld that angle in at the bottom, and then this can just be screwed in. I'll have one hole to drill for one extra screw. The last step, once I got this trimmed and the lower piece welded in, I just put a step in it here to go over top of it. I can screw this in now, check the fit, and then I'll have one final hole to drill and a pilot hole for the screw. And then I can take these off, sand them up, and put them in for the final time. Okay, just getting this last one installed here. Everything will have to get painted once we're into final assembly, after all of the other stuff is done. Just get this screwed in here. Butterfingers. Okay, what's going on? Sometimes, let's see if we can just scratch everything, all the shit here. There we go. Just got to get it in the right spot. Boy, this one's being a... Maybe I should have done that one first. That's weird. Okay, I'll get it screwed on here and then I'll bring you back. Okay, finally got that one screwed in there. I'm not sure what was going on. Anyhow, so both of those are done now. Another step, and now just a little information for Mike over there at Desert Rat 2000. He had asked me a question about the inside bolts for the hinges here, and they both come, the upper one is a nut and a bolt that comes through from the inside. There's a fairly heavy, almost a 3/16 washer that goes on the outside and sandwiches that piece of steel. On the bottom hinge, there's a threaded nut welded to the hinge, and the bolt comes in from the front. So it's the same on both sides, and that's about it. So that'll wrap this part up. Next I'll be getting my chain lift set up in the Quonset here so that I can get the cabs off and the clips, and we can go from there. So anyhow, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one.